Thank you, everyone. Thank you. And tonight, welcome to my nightly. And we got some jazz on the background. Now tonight, I'm going to go out my comfort zone and do something live that's never been done before. Anyway, has never been done by me before. What I'm going to do, okay, is dabble with the tarot. I know. Isn't that shocking, eh? My mother used to do tarot. And she always, it was a party piece. So that's why I never really, I was accessible to them. My mother even made her own tarots. So yeah, we're going to do some tarot. Dabble with some black magic. Late night black magic dabbling. And of course, I understand tarot that you can ask any question you want from the tarot card. What will you ask? I've been really inspired by that magi. Let's get this guy. Let's just
Hey, I created this beautiful logo for my bike shop with Wix Logo Maker. Check it out. Go to Wix.com.
While I shuffle the cards.
Good day, YouTubers. Welcome back to my channel.
If you haven't heard of this magi before.
I'm Joseph Magi, author of Playing Card Divination, Fortune Telling, The Magi Method. Find the book worldwide on Amazon and Kindle and paperback versions. Find the full color card deck used here on Etsy/Magi Method. Please feel free to like, share, subscribe, and comment. There is a petition circulating.
Good. So he gets the news out. Yeah, he talks about the subject matter and ultimately starts laying down the cards.
And they're reacting to the big change.
And so this is the inspiration really I'm using it for.
The PR event. Cornucopia, roses, Jacob's Ladder.
So because I'm new, well, even though I'm new to actually reading tarots, I think this will be my first time, and I'm doing it live. I'm going to be getting the meanings from the internet. And I hope, that should be alright, shouldn't it? So we can use a 4-card spread. And the 4-card spread. So the first card that I put down, okay? The first card I put down will be, what's at hand? What's at hand? So we're going to pick a subject. And I was thinking, if only you've got a subject you want to think about. I mean, I'm a bit scared to do it, but fuck fear, let's dance. I'm a bit scared to do it, but the only thing on my mind at the moment is John Wanoa, of course. We've been expecting his deliverance a few days ago, but there's been whatever there's been. I mean, that's really on my mind. So, what's at hand? John's at hand. Okay, shall we do it? And I'm, bit nervous. Never done tarot before, and I'm doing it in front of the world. Here we go. Now, what we're going to do is, the first card is what's at hand. John's at hand, okay? Now, cards are this first card is going to tell us what really is going on. The first card is going to tell us what's at hand with John Wanoa. I'm ready. I'm ready. I'm ready. The first card, what's at hand, is the 8 of. The 8 of, well, it says 8 of stars here, but it can't be 8 of. What's this? Can you see that? Where's my camera? What the hell is that? 8 of coins. It's the 8 of coins. Here we go. Yep. The 8 of coins. So what's at hand is when you dedicate yourself to producing quality work, you will gain greater freedom all the way round. So general meaning. The 8 of this suit is the card of works. We see here the successful artisan spending time at his bench. Oh, that's interesting. At his bench, hammering out the commissions he has attracted because of his skill. This is really good, because what we're talking about, yeah, well, we're actually talking about that. That's what's at hand, right? Okay, and I'm using tarot to get answers now. Leanne, I hope I pronounce your name properly, Leanne Howarth. Okay, no, that. But there's no grammar police on this particular live feed. You know, I blame all the French coming over and throwing their E's and I's around and making it a lot more complicated. So what's at hand here is John, and the general meaning is already kind of like touch and base me. So the 8 of this suit is the card of works. How often have we got John talking about we've got work to do? We see here the successful artisan. Artisan is John. He's an artist. He's a genius. Spending time at his bench. Whose bench is John's? It's the king's bench. So we've got that there. Hammering out the commissions. And that's John's style, isn't it? Hammering out the commissions. He is attracted because of his skill. He's attracted all of us because of his skill. This artist is the best in her or his class. Now that's interesting that they bring that up, because her is the queen, his is the king. So popular that it's become difficult to keep up with demand. She is paid whenever she accepts. She asks and accepts only the most worthy assignments. Well, I'm going to read that last bit again. So she, in this context, because of course tarot cards is all about interpretation, isn't it? So in this context, she is the queen. She is paid whenever she asks and accepts only the most worthy assignments. Yeah, that could be about right, doesn't it? That rings true. If there is a problem in this card, it has to do with the trap of workaholism. The feeling of being so indispensable that you will not ask for help or delegate anything. There is also the issue of becoming so identified as the creator of elegant works that the personal identity of the creator becomes consumed by the works themselves. This artisan seldom gets to have a home life, time off, much time for friends. The solution lays in balancing creative energy with a personal life. I mean, crikey, isn't that a beautiful sum up of what John is at this moment in time? Isn't it? Who are you talking about when you say who's been paid? Who are you talking about? And somebody's making a noise on my phone as well, but I don't look at it in case anything. So look, that's what the general meaning is, okay? We're not in a reverse side, so all that I don't need to worry about. And so this card is what's at hand, okay? John is successful as what he's done, and he was successfully about to progress his project onto the next level, okay? Spending time at his bench. That's what he came over to London for, wasn't it? To spend time at his king's bench. And he was hammering out the commissions. He'd already made partnerships and with various people. Yeah, yeah. I agree as well. John is unbelievable. Okay, and so this card shows us what's at hand at the moment is John is a success and he's eager to get going. Okay, that's all that's at the moment. If there's any criticism of John at the moment in time, it's his workaholism. Okay, he's not delegating as much as he could do. That's maybe why his blood pressure's so high. He's trying to take on everything at the same time. We've seen that by sending his money back to his family in the Philippines. Perhaps that was, you know. And it says here, the artisan, and in this case, the artisan is John. He seldom gets a home life, time off, much time for his friends. Okay, so John, that's what's balanced at the moment. Okay, John is in that balancing act of creative energy with a personal life, getting out and getting the work done. King's bench, Queen's bench, home, out. I mean, he's stuck. Oh, you agree then? Thank you. Yes, that is good. So we're going to keep that 8 of coins. Okay, remember, I'm new to tarot, even though I've had tarot around me all my life. So that's what's at hand. Okay, is John's getting on with work, the work of the Moai powerhouse. That's what's at hand. Okay, but John's got his team around him now, so all that's in place. That is what is at hand. Forget about everything else, please. Or no, you can do what you want. For this moment in time, I'm going to forget about anything else. I'm going to go. I'm going to still shuffle. No. Something just told me to leave that pack alone, Matthew. Something told me then in the room, because we are dabbling with the spirits here, and I kid you not, I've got goosebumps on my arm. Something in the room said, "No, Matthew, put that deck back down. Leave it alone." Hello, Kaylee. And that's a lovely guest. We've got a really lovely lady who herself has gone beyond the call of duty to get John out. And okay, perhaps Kaylee's just joined, so I'm just going to do a recap. I'm doing tarot. We can ask any question, okay? And of course, the one thing on my mind at the moment. Oh, thank you ever so much, Kev, for the shout out, saying it's a great show. But of course, the one thing on my mind at the moment is about John. So I've already asked the question. This is just for maybe Kaylee and Kev, who may have just joined. So what's at hand is John has got work to do, okay? I've had the 8 of coins. And this means work's got to get done. The only criticism, if John has got any criticism, is his workaholism. Workaholism. I can't even say the word, but he's working too hard and he's sending his blood pressure up. Okay, so that's what. And I was going to reshuffle, but something in the room told me to leave the shuffle, leave the deck alone, Matt. So now I'm going to take out the second card. Okay. Now this card is going to tell us about the past influences. Okay. Now we know what's at hand. John is successful and he's ready to get working and starting his project, okay? Good. Leanne is saying, I keep pushing this too, Matt. It's all about the King's flag and our rights. Of course it is. It's about us ultimately, isn't it? And Kaylee's coming in. The 8th of August is his birthday. All about the 8th. So, of course, numerology is playing thick, isn't it? I know, I mean, it's written there in the stars. So, now the past influences. Now, God knows what this is. Okay. I mean, I'm not scared. I am a bit scared. But I'm just going to pull it over and see what the card is. Or let me get ready on the... Okay, here we go. Right. Let's see if you can see that. Yeah, even I don't know what it is. So, it's... Oh, I think I know what it is. It'll be the cups. And it is the 6 of cups, everyone. That is the 6 of cups. So the 6 of cups is the past influence. I'm clicking on it now. Right. Look at your past as a respiratory of wisdom to be applied judiciously in the present. Past influences, people. I'm not going to call you people. Lovely, dear people, viewers who've taken the time. Hello, Frank. Welcome, sir. I know. Yeah, and Yvonne Taylor. I hope I pronounced that properly. So, past influences in this. We're talking about John. Basically, we're saying what's the issues. We know the project is ready to go. Yeah, 8 has been popping up, just as Haley said. So now, but we're on the 6 of cups, and it's the general meaning. The 6 of this suit generally represents a refreshing openness and innocence, a willingness to learn, and an optimism that things will get better as we advance together in understanding. The traditional title, I love this, The past reminds us of our original nature, when we were young and enthusiastic, when anything was possible and the future was an open book. We are to remember that this same freshness, those new possibilities, are always available to us, even now. Wow. Okay, we've got a latest visitor. Thank you for joining us, Angie. Bloody hell, tarot cards. I'll stick with the Son of God or even your daughter. Well, night. Well, okay, so we've already got Angela off. So, look, but I like the meaning of this. The past influencer that's got John in this position of being prevented right at the point of success from getting on with the work, okay, is his openness and his innocence. He was open to that police officer who came up to him, Brett Shields, and he was innocent enough to walk around and say, okay, I'll put my trust in you. And that's something John has always, another criticism, if you want to criticise John, regardless of whether he's, you know, was a scam or not, because we, of course, we know he's not a scam. That's been proven, that's been put aside, okay? But if there is going to be some criticism, is that his openness and innocence has bitten him in the past. Now, look, because we're using the Rider's Weight tarot card, and the website is the Rider's Weight, these words are very interesting and have been used for a reason. I definitely feel a presence in the room now. I definitely do. And for the diehard Christians in the audience, I understand the concerns about dabbling with black magic. But you have to understand, my arch enemy now is a real life Voldemort. So I've had to go to the real life, what's his name? He's the wizard of the Smurfs. Gargle. No, sorry, I've got his name on. Anyway, the real life wizard. He'll come back to me in a moment. Gargamel, that's it, Gargamel. So I've had to go to the real life Gargamel to, yeah, of course they're going to shut John down, but, you know, and we're going to find a solution, okay? Because the last card we pull will give us the answer of what to do, okay? The third card will be ponder, what we have to ponder. But we're looking at the past influences now. And the past influence that has got John in this position is his openness and innocence and a willingness to learn. That is John all over. That's what makes John a great man. And an optimism that things will get better as we advance together in understanding. Isn't that wonderful? Isn't that what all this is all about? The King's Bench explaining what the flag represents. It sums it up in that line there. An optimism that things will get better as we advance together in understanding. And then this is what I like about this, because the website is tied up to the deck, okay? Now look what it says. The traditional title. Thank you, Kev. It says the traditional title. Doesn't that tie in with the Moai traditional titles of the king lineage that John claims? And has been recognised, because we've all seen it on his videos. We've seen them with the Moai paramount kings there, okay, in their courts. Okay, so the past reminds us of our original nature. And doesn't John do that? He essentially reminds us all of the Moai original nature. And of course the original nature of the trust funds, which Dave Johnson with Andy Devine recently have discussed, has been stolen by the Queen, when it's ours. And John has got the paperwork or the deeds of the land to give it back to us. And this ties in with this card. The Six of Cups. Okay, it ties in. The past reminds us of our original nature when we were young and enthusiastic, when anything was possible and the future was an open book. Isn't that what we feel at the moment? Isn't that why we're all following John? Not so much we're all following John Wanoa, we support him, we follow on our own sovereignty. And that's what's brought us all together now. Okay, so we're been brought together in the collective belief that anything is possible and that the future is an open book. We are to remember that this same freshness, those new possibilities, are always available to us, even now. So I think this tarot reading is going really good. We've found out stuff, and the next card is something for us to think about, remember. But I just want to recap what we found out already, okay? John was on the moment of success. That's what that first card told us, the 8 of Coins. The 8 of Coins told us that John was on the verge of success. He was ready to go, and they snatched him off. And if there's any criticism, he was a workaholic. He was doing too much. He wasn't delegating enough. Hence his, amen, brother. Hence his heart rate. We've got to manifest our future according to, now, yes. Look at the translations of Moiv, Maori, yeah. I mean, that's something John has explained. And touching on what Kaylee's saying then, doesn't this thing, the phrase from the card mean so much when anything is possible and the future is our open book? It's brilliant. Synchronizations are good. So, the next card, I feel as if I want to shuffle it more, but honestly, I've got spirits behind me. I've got my guardian angels behind me. Honestly, Judge Dredd, Johnny Alpha, Captain America. I'd have God would be around here somewhere. So all my guardian angels are looking in, and they're definitely saying, do not shuffle, just do the next card. So I've done it. Now this is something we've all got to think about, okay? It's cups again, and it's number 7. It's number 7, 7 of cups. 7 of cups. Let me just verify that. 7 of cups. That just carries on from 6 of cups, because we just had the 6 of cups, didn't we? Now this is what we've got to think. This is what we've got to think about now. This is what we've got to ponder. Allow yourself to daydream. For dreams give you creative ideas and solutions and produce a wonderful results. So this is what we've got to think about now. Fuck fear. We've got to daydream. And it's just touching on what Kaylee's just said. Okay? We've got to manifest our future now. According to our now. And so this is what this card is telling us. We've just got to daydream and think about it now. Think about what we want out of this. What we want out of the King's Bench. What we want out of ourselves. Okay, let's go in about the general meaning of the 7 of clubs. The 7 of this suit typically refers to works of the imagination. Absolutely. Thank you for commenting, Kaylee. The last chapter is ours to write. And this just fits in perfectly to this card. The 7 typically refers to the works of the imagination. The use of dream and vision to invent a future different than the life one is currently living. These cards are lovely. This card reminds us that our outcomes are not set in stone. Now, that's something Andy would like with his correctness, and it ties in with King Arthur because the Kumri language used to be chiselled in the stones, and these stones can still be found today. Set in stone, it ties in. So this meaning, what we've got to think about now is our imaginations. Okay? We've got to use, and this ties in what Kaylee's just said, we've got to use our vision, our dreams, to invent a future different than the one is currently living. And isn't that why we're all doing this? Because we are not satisfied with continual war, poverty, child abuse, suffering. Thank you for the heart, Kaylee. And we're not going to settle for it. And this card is telling us. Let me just carry on and let the card speak for itself. We can raise our hopes and expectations and upgrade our results. Do not be fooled by the title fantasy which this card is sometimes given. This card indicates the truly magical quality of awakened imagination. Oh, come on. Whoa! That is beautiful. That is a beautiful card. Wow. I'm really enjoying this tarot. And I appreciate that it's dabbling with black magic. But considering I've got a real life Voldemort on my case, I've had to take the advice of the real life Gargamel to deal with this. And I'm happy the way it's going, really. What will be will be. Live in the moment and love. Unconditionally. Sending out good vibrations. And isn't that a great message? Thank you ever so much for Yvonne Taylor for sending that in. So, I'm just going to read it again because I love the Seven of Cups. It's relevant to this moment in time with John. We can raise our hopes and expectations and upgrade our results. That is John in a sentence, okay? John can raise our hopes and expectations and upgrade our results, and he will deliver. Do not be fooled by the title fantasy. And it's got title with a capital F, the titled fantasy. And isn't that right about our straw man? Doesn't that fit in with that, our birth certificate? Isn't that our titled fantasy? So even though the tarot cards is saying this in its words it uses, do not be fooled by the titled fantasy which this card is sometimes given. So it's saying don't be fooled by your straw man. This card indicates the truly magical quality of awakened imagination. That's referring to us, the awakened, the truth. Now, we're in the truth movement. Now, this is the last card, and I'm not scared. I'm embracing it, okay? Now, this card represents what to do about it. So I'm going to do a quick recap. We know John on the verge of success, okay? He was there. If there's any criticism, he was doing too much. He got his blood pressure up. What the perfect storm was the fact that from his past, he's too forgiving. Not so much too forgiving, so that was the wrong word. Too innocent and too supportive of the situation, too trusting of people, okay? But that's what makes John John, so that can never be changed. So that's why this scenario has always got to be played out. And what we've got to think about, we've got to fuck the fear, okay? Because we've got to concentrate on the future now. It's no use us going around in circles worrying about John, because the card says don't worry about John, think about the future, keep your imagination going, okay? Because John is going to come out, that's inevitable, and he is going to get back to health and tip-top condition, okay? And this is going to go forward. It's inevitable because it's already done, the momentum already, right? It's been set in stone, and that's been mentioned in the cards today, okay? So now this is the last card. Let's just jump in with it. Together we win the battle of good against evil. That's a lovely comment from Yvonne, and thank you. And then we got Paul Brown coming in. Paul, you've just in time to get the last card. This isn't a card. This is telling us about Pamela Coleman Smith. Okay? She was born in February 1878. In Middlesex, England. Now, she was the lady who created this. Right. So it's got to be the next card, hasn't it? This is it, people. This is the lady who created it, okay? What to do. The tarot. Consult the tarot. Consult the lady. Consult the dead, even. So this is what this card represents, okay? This is serious shit going down on Facebook right now. This is something you won't watch anywhere else. You will not watch a live tarot. Let's do it, people. Let's get this last card. It's the Chariot. Okay. Now this is called the this is the inner arcana, isn't it? The higher arcana, the greater arcana. Okay, so I imagine chariot is the higher arcana. So let's get the chariot. Now this is what we're going to do about the situation, okay? United we stand, divided we fall. Okay, look upon the movements of change as full of promise and adventure. This is tying in perfectly to what our tarot reading tonight. Look upon the movements. The movements, that's us. We are the varying movements within a movement. Wouldn't you agree? Mad, bringing it back to Sussex. Light first, Sid dark. The police cannot get any more corrupt than Sussex. Yeah. Absolutely. And wouldn't that be the same with any police force around Britain? Is there an honest police force in Britain? John Wanoa is truly a beautiful man. He has been fighting the scam regarding the royal bloodline for at least 15 years, to my knowledge. The bloodline changed in Queen Victoria's reign. Absolutely. I mean, but isn't it true? We're getting all the information about the Victoria and the Rothschilds through Greg Hallett, of course. So, you know, we are getting information from people everywhere. So the general meaning. Now, this is what we've got to do, okay? The Chariot card points to a triumphal feeling of freedom. Oh, come on. It's saying it, isn't it? The cards are saying it tonight. The Chariot Tarot card points to a triumphal feeling of freedom. Now, this is good because it says comma. And hasn't John, and me especially, I've been feeling a triumphal feeling of freedom because we've been promised John was going to be released by now. So, but then the tarot cards are saying it. So the tarot card points to a triumphal feeling of freedom as if the charioteer is being paraded through the streets as a hero or heroine. Wow. The chariot sums up John, isn't it? Because in all our fantasies, we want to see John and the charioteer being paraded through the streets as our hero, triumphal feeling of triumphal freedom. The card reflects congratulations for high achievement and serves as a sign of empowerment. And this goes into what Tracy said, doesn't it, Kaylee? Wasn't Tracy saying this? I'm not going to go back because I think I got an invasion of privacy if I did, okay? But if I did go back to my Facebook chat, which you were in, Kaylee, wasn't Tracy talking about this? Owning it, taking the bull by its horns and owning the crown. And this exactly what this card says. So this is perhaps what we need to do. We need to up the level. I don't fucking know. I'm going to ask Tracy. She seems to know. Take it. Own it. Be the crown. And it says, the tarot says, the card reflects congratulations for high achievement. Haven't we all been congratulating John over the last month or years? Just like Kev said, he's been, to his knowledge alone, John's been doing it for the last 15 years. So John has got all our congratulations for the high achievement. And what John is doing, and of course what Tracy, I think, has been doing as well, Tracy's another gem that we need, we want to look at more closely, is that serves as a sign of empowerment. And that's what this King's Bench is all about, surely. Empowerment. That's what the tribal flags is all about. Empowerment. It's all right, I've got no one in tonight, so I can shout empowerment as long as loud as I want. Okay, let's carry on. Great cards, by the way. I'm feeling free. We've got a comment from Kaylee. Thank you for commenting. I'm feeling free because I haven't been taken into a psych ward yet. As promised, threatened, yeah, haven't we all? We've got this. What a perfect card. This is for all of us now. Yes, you are so true. We are the crown. Look, Kaylee's got it. We are the sovereign. We have to own it. We're almost there. Absolutely. Now let's just finish it off because this is going to be great advice. I really feel good. It says, huge wheels and frisky steeds speed the rate at which the drivers will power can be realised. This is spooky because it's getting me goosebumps now. And this is what, again, talking about what creating our future, and it's just been reiterated here. Let me say this again. Huge wheels and frisky steeds speed the rates at which the driver's will power can be realised. We're realising, and just like Kaylee is now, when she's saying we are the crown, we are the sovereign, we have to own it, we're almost there. We're realising the power that we have, at our disposal. The huge wheels and frisky steeds. That means horses, doesn't it? Frisky steeds. Huge wheels, the horsepower we've got, the speed, the rate at which we can power this is just now being realised. We're now realising the enormity of what John is offering us with his hard work, 15 years of dedication. So this kind of charge, doesn't say change, it says charge. This kind of charge, I love comments, Kev, maxim of the law, no man warring for God shall be troubled by secular business. There you go. I mean, we're relying on, John explains this, doesn't it? Because we're going to go back, because the laws of King William the Fourth are still there. And so we're relying on wisdom. And this was touched on the card earlier on with the 8 of coins. It's the wisdom of what John's doing. Wisdom has made John a success. And just at that moment of success, he was pulled back. And we know why. Because that's been very well chronicled by Andy. And he's done a great job of just chronicling everything what's happened. We all have, of course. We all have. So huge wheels. I love reading that line. I'm going to read it again anyway. Huge wheels and frisky steeds speed the rate at which the drivers will power can be realised. This kind of charge makes more of the world accessible to one ambitious enough to seize the chariot's reins. God! Now this is great, but I know what's going to come next, okay? And it just sums it up. So this is good. Because John was brave enough. This kind, right? K-I-N-D. All you need to do is turn that D around and do a little bend and you got a G, haven't you? So this king of charge. You can change that sentence and say, this king of charge makes more of the world accessible to one ambitious enough to seize the chariot's reins. John is that one ambitious enough to seize the chariot's reins. And he was on excess, because that's what it's all about. This is what this is all about. And this has been verified by Andy. It's been verified by the cards now. It was all about John was at the moment of success. He'd done the deal with John Patterson. He was there. Okay, he'd done the deal with China. Even bloody Peter Pan has got the film rights. He'd done the deal. He was on the verge of success. That's what that card has told us. Listen, I haven't finished reading. It's so exciting. Let me go back. So John was the one who ambitious enough to seize the chariot's reins. Now, isn't this true? But there is danger in this feeling of freedom. Isn't there danger? Yes. We know the danger, but there is danger in this feeling of freedom because of the increased rate of change and its power to magnify mistakes in judgment. This is very fascinating. I'm going to read that again, because the danger which has happened to John is because of the mistakes in judgment by who? The idiots, the fucking trolls, the Garys, the Nathans, the Solace, the Bowdens, and all the other ones. Okay, that's their mistakes in judgment, which has brought the danger onto John. So I'll read that sentence again. But there is danger in this feeling of freedom, of being so free and liberated, knowing that you've got this power at your disposal. The danger is it magnifies mistakes in judgment by the people looking up going, I do not understand that, so I'll throw a stone at it. That's the mistakes in judgment. But there is danger in this feeling of freedom because of the increased rate of change. People for some reason cannot deal with fast change, don't it? It's got to be slow. Oh no, let's do, And that was what was happening. This card's saying that change was galloping, wasn't it? Because the affidavits were in, none of them were refuted. The rate was gathering. The momentum was gathering. And this is what the card is telling us. Because of the increased rate of change and its power to magnify mistakes in judgment. So, as a seasoned warrior, the chariot is called upon to be extra attentive to the way ahead. Now, can you see the hidden meaning in this? So it ends. So we're talking about taking the reins, okay? We're talking about he was successfully, because he made a partnership with John Patterson. Can you see John Patterson in there? I can. A seasoned warrior. That's John. He's the peaceful warrior. So a seasoned warrior. The card is bringing in this chariot, it's bringing in John Patterson, his partner. Okay, so he's saying there's a chariot there, there's reins, but John Wanoa is passing the reins to John Patterson and back again, and to other people in the management team. Okay, so as seasoned warrior, they're talking about John Patterson there, the charioteer is called upon to be extra attentive to the way ahead. Okay, and it was rough, because we know what happened. Okay, so that's it. That's it. It's my first foray into tarot. Okay, and I picked up the last card. This is just, because I've got no idea what this means. Let's find out. Okay, this is the X factor. This is the unknown, and look at it. And doesn't just the image sum up the mood? Hey. So it's the swords. Remember what we something Andy Devine said about sword. Swords are the words, aren't they? You just move the S around. With the S, it's words into swords. So we've got the 9 of swords, okay? This is the mystery. This is the mystery card. The 9 of swords. I don't know what's going to come out of this, okay? Honesty. Admit to yourself that you have sacrificed time and energy on a situation that simply does not work. I'm dedicating I'm dedicating this card, the extra card, because we know the situation now, okay? And I will recap for you. We know the situation. Now, but this is for you, the detractors, okay? The people who are going to report, tell tit, and fuck wits. The 9 of swords. Honesty. Admit to yourself that you have sacrificed time and energy on a situation that simply does not work. The 9 of this suit has a special resonance with the Middle Ages because it figures the plight of a woman who is alone in the world during the centuries when women had no personal rights, no ability to inherit property or use the law in their own defence. We generally see her sitting up in bed weeping, grieving and in fear of abandonment because of her vulnerability, wondering what will happen to her now that her protector, the father, the brother, the husband or son is gone. Isn't Kaylee right? The pen is mightier than the sword. 1 pen is mightier than 9 swords. So the swords above her head may indicate that the loss has come through some cruel conflict, the outcome of which has left her behind as chattel. I haven't really heard that word before. Chattel. Chattel. Chattel has been left an item of property other than the freehold land, so it's left her penniless. So that the spoils of war. The swords above her head may indicate that the loss has come through some cruel conflict, the outcome of which has left her behind as chattel. The spoils of war. Okay, yeah, so she's the spoils of war. Really, what we are looking at is the price of pride. which creates losers as a side effect of glorifying winners. The woman in the picture represents the concerns of the heart, the damage to the soul and to the vulnerable ones. When the ego mind becomes so invested in control and domination that it does not count the human costs. A sensitive, subtle, heartfelt approach to nature, the feminine, is trampled and thrown aside in service to a winner-takes-all mentality. Oh my God, you know who this is? This is the Queen. This is the Queen. The woman in the picture represents the concerns of the heart. And what did the Queen say on her coronation? I can only offer you my heart. The concerns of the heart. The damage to the soul of the nation and to the vulnerable ones, when the ego mind becomes so invested in control and domination that it does not count the human costs. Doesn't that sum up Tory Britain in that card? And look, the Queen is there with the swords hanging over her, hanging her head in shame or in fear. Either way, okay, it's the winner takes all and she's lost. It says that in the cards. Because her domination over her kingdoms, and it's gone to her mind, and that ego, she was so invested in control and domination that she didn't count the human cost of that. Okay? A sensitive, subtle, heartfelt approach to nature, the feminine, is trampled and thrown aside in service to a winner-takes-all mentality. That's what they think. That's what they've been living under. We're the winners, we take it all. Not anymore. So there you go. Thanks ever so much, everyone. 48 minutes of tarot. Trying something different. So, and I'll recap now. Recap and we'll tie it all up by 50 minutes. We ask, whenever you approach tarot, okay, you ask, what's your question? What's worrying you? Okay? Like everyone who knows John, I'm worried about John. So that was on my mind, okay? So the question was, what's the crack with John? What's happened with John? Okay? And it's told us. Now, what's happened to John was, and this has been confirmed, we know this already, okay? So we know that on this occasion, on my first occasion I've done tarots, I know that the tarots work, okay? So we know that John was on the verge of success. He was successful. He was ready to go, okay? And we know what happened because he got sabotaged right at that moment, okay? If there was any criticism, he was working too hard, and that resulted in this high blood pressure. We just got a message from Kaylee we're going to read out. The Queen and Theresa May have diminished the relevance of the true good goddess. No, goddess. The goddess to support the true king of the land, all to worship God Gala. Okay, now there's Kaylee tapping into something, again, wisdom-wise, way older than Christianity, no doubt. Aren't you? You're talking about gods and goddesses way older than Christianity. In fact, what Christianity would be built on. So the story was, John was there. John was ready to go, okay? If there was any criticism, he was working too hard. And he should have been delegating and stuff. That's what his heart condition came in. Now, the reason he got allowed to be pulled into this mental health fraud, some people out there are saying that there's no mental health. Let me assure you, there was a mental health fraud. The reason he allowed himself to get sucked into that, okay, and where he is at the moment, because of his honesty, his trustworthiness, and his innocence. But that's not a criticism of John, I believe. That's what makes John such an endearing person. And so that side of him was always set in stone. And that's been something else that's been touched upon in the cards tonight. Now, what we've got to think about is mustn't worry about John. This is what the cards are telling us, okay? We've got to think forward. John's going to be okay. Okay, he's coming out. He's going to come out, and whatever issues John's going to come out with are going to be sorted. And we know from the cards, for him, it's all about getting this job done. Okay, he's still full steam ahead. Remember, he went in on that point of success. So as soon as he comes out, he wants to carry on with that. Okay, so John's ready. John's ready to work. And we've got to think, how are we going to help him? We're not going to think about anything else. We've got to think about the future. And this is what this card is telling us. We've got to use our imaginations, okay? And now the last card, what we're going to, what we have to do is we are grabbing the chariot's reins. We're grabbing the bull by the head, and we're taking ownership of it. We're following on the advice of what's already come out from Tracy today, John's daughter. And the extra card is for our enemies, okay, for our detractors. Shame on you. You've got to think about all that time you've wasted. The swords are hanging over your head. Okay, look at your queen. Your queen is there in a cell. She's in a cell hanging her head in shame. That's where your queen is. It says, winner takes all. And guess what? John is taking it all. That's your tarot cards tonight. I want to thank Joseph Magi for giving me the idea. And also, I've got to thank my dear mother and all my guardian angels around me, because they've been guardian angels tonight and I've been guided by them. They taught me how to do this tarot. And of course, a lot of stuff came back from my memories. So I just want to say thanks everyone for watching. I've enjoyed it. And I hope you've enjoyed it too. Thanks Tim, Lisa, Anne-Marie. Oh, Lisa James is my cousin. So thanks for viewing in all the way from Australia. Isn't that lovely? She was thinking, oh my God, what is Matthew up to? Thank you ever so much for Kev and Charlotte Rose. There's another big personality, which I'm so happy, who joined us tonight. And we're going to leave the last comment to Kaylee. Nobody else I know could stand 33 days of their meds and still every day be talking business. Yeah, Kaylee summed it up, isn't he? And that's what the card says, right? He's a business all the way. Love him. Big love, Matt. Awesome show. Thank you ever so much. I'm going to end that on that beautiful note by Kaylee. And let's all do it again soon. Bye for now.